Do you know the difference between Kanban and Scrum? Hi, this is your barathkumarkarunanidhi and welcome to today's session. Thank you for taking your time to listen to this video. And in this video, we're going to talk or discuss about the difference between Scrum and Kanban in Agile methodologies. So before we move forward into the session today, I want to highlight that today marks the 90th day and the last day of the 90-day content challenge, which I started in April 2024. I think I started on April 14th during Tamil New Year. So it was an interesting journey over the past 3 months, and every day I ponder over what contents to post, and I prepare the content, I get it recorded, I post it on the social media or take it live directly. So it's been a successful journey over the past 3 months, and I was able to complete what I started off, and that gives me a good confidence level. And of course, I was even doubtful myself when I started off in April. So will I be able to complete it fully? Will I be able to consistently post videos every day? That was my videos or content every day. That was my biggest question, and surprisingly, I was able to do it well and manage it well even during times when I was traveling. So that is really good thing about what happened. So especially thanks to the Almighty for providing me the power to complete what I started off, and thanks to my family and friends and all my LinkedIn connections and Facebook connections, Facebook friends, everybody for listening to my content and supporting me throughout the journey. So if at all I was able to add some value to your knowledge base on product management with my contents that you have been listening for the past 90 days, then my work is done here. So I'm happy about it, and we look forward for please look forward for more contents from my side as such. So let's dive into today's topic. So hope I'm able to be able to listen to my audio. 1 second. Actually, I had a problem last time, so I'm just redoing this content now. Yeah, great. So okay, audio is now clear. So anyway, we'll go forward. So let's talk about the difference between the Scrum and Kanban in Agile. So of course, both are Agile methodologies. Both comes under Agile methodologies, and these are two different frameworks that's prevailing in the industry, where both are for use for project management activities. So using this both frameworks, be it Scrum or Kanban, we'll be able to run the project successfully using for any project that we handle it. So when it comes to Scrum, so it's a framework as such, and we use it as one of the project management framework, and we use it against simple, complex, or complicated problem domains. And so we apply this framework to handle the project and use it based on the guided set of principles. And of course, we have the agile principles, Scrum in Scrum, and the values and practices that is being suggested by in Scrum. And of course, we have these teams to take care of the entire process, like Scrum Master is there, product owner is there, the development team is there, and we have the necessary ceremonies to handle the Scrum sprints as well, which is a daily Scrum, sprint planning, sprint review, sprint retrospective. All these ceremonies are there. So this is about Scrum. Of course, we have talked lots of things about Scrum right from in the past 90 days. Yes. So when it comes to, let's talk about Kanban, which I haven't covered most of. Haven't. This is the first time I'm touching upon Kanban now. So when it comes to Kanban, it's again similar framework, similar to Agile. Again, it's coming under Agile, and so it's also one of the framework that is used for project management activities. And what happens here, the main difference is in Kanban, they rely mostly on the visual tasks to manage the workflow. So that is how you will be able to see visually what's happening, and that is the only thing they follow here. Of course, there's no teams here, and there are no ceremonies here like sprint planning, sprint review, no, nothing like that. So only point is daily stand-up meeting. That's something which they'll be using it regularly, so that the entire team is on same page and they're all in sync. They're all in sync, proper sync. So that is something which is totally deviating from what we followed in Scrum and in Kanban. So we'll talk about Kanban as such. What more we have here? So when it comes to workflow, as I said, they rely on visual tasks to manage the workflow. So during the project when project is carrying on, project is being worked on. So workflow in the sense the various stages in the project, like say for example backlog, today, or uh, today, doing, and done, or of course blogged and then done. So these are the 5 different stages which we are taken up here, and this stages are almost, all highly customizable, and you can add up any stage that you wanted to. Say, for example, backlog is something, all the recommends is kept there, and if you're going to today, day one, what are the tasks that you're going to take in, it will be moved to the task will be moved to the today column. And if it is work in progress, then it goes to doing. And if that is blocked because of some reasons, any critical issues that happened or any inputs that needed from various other teams, then it goes to blocked. And if it is done, and it is it can, if the task is completed, it goes to done stage. Or of course, if it is, which means done is done in the sense it is also released to the customer, so it's gone live. So that is what done is. Of course, you can add any additional stages, like, say, for example, release, QA, or anything like that. You can add anywhere in between. So whichever is comfortable for you, and as based on your company's policies and teams interest. So that is how the stages is happening here. And this stages, as I mentioned, is highly customizable, and we've used this Kanban cards to write up the user stories, and we put it against each of the flow stages which we talked about: backlog, today, doing, blocked, or done. So the Kanban cards will be taken through along with the user stories. Of course, it has the user stories, and it will be moved to various. It will be going through the flow from stage 1 to stage n, whatever be. So from the start till the end, that's it. So that will go through the flow. So, and here the limits. Kanban always have the limit, some certain limit in the work in progress, which is doing. So work in progress items are supposed to be very limited, and they need to make sure that they quickly move all the tasks that is started off from in doing to done. So there's always a cap on the number of items that is supposed to be in work in progress, which is like, say, for example, in they have today they have planned for 10 items, and they're doing some work in progress is like three to 5 items. They will have a maximum cap of 7 or 5, anything like that. So you can, that depends on the team. So if they have 5 in doing, so which is in work in progress, they need to finish off that 5, only then they can take the other task from the backlog. So that is how their plan is. So if there are too many tasks, or that's maximum capacity is reached in the doing section, then the entire team will pitch in and get it resolved and get the tasks to done stage, and then they'll go ahead and do their own their separate tasks. That is how they plan it, and they work as a team together, and they take it towards the completion of any task that is being worked on. So that is how they are doing it. And if there, as I mentioned, the cap, maximum cap is of course decided by the team as such. And when next is about lead time. So lead time is time taken for each story or the task to take to cover to go through the workflow, right from backlog till the done, which is released to the customer or gone live. So that entire time duration is the lead time for a task. And yes, as I mentioned, we don't have any teams as such here. Everybody is there's a collective responsibility that's there, and everyone in the team has to take care of the project and may work towards the closure of the project. That is how they are. And they, as you mentioned, there is no service ceremonies. Daily stand-up meeting is something which they follow to. They make themselves in sync. And here we, in case of Scrum, we have talked about, like, there is always 2-week sprint or 4-week sprint that is regularly used, and in that is how we follow in Scrum. But in case of Kanban, there is nothing like that. There is no time limit at all. So as and when the stories comes in, that takes up, if it's a priority, it takes up a high priority, and that's worked on first, or else it comes as per the plan. And so it goes to the workflow and then goes to the completion, and then it gets delivered in the finally to the customers. So that is how, that's no box time box that is okay. It is supposed to be getting really finished off by 1 week or 2 weeks, nothing like that. So it goes as per the flow, and based on the priority that comes in. So what happens is Kanban is actually great when there are lots of incoming requests on ad hoc basis, and with varying priority, and size of the project is also different. So that is how, if based on that, you can decide on whether to take up Kanban or Scrum. So in case of Scrum, what happens is we have always a the control, the scope of the sprint is always in our control. We don't disturb the sprint when it is in progress, and we don't encourage any new items to get added to that sprint if that is already initiated and the teams are working on that. If any new requirements comes in, we ask them to hold it, and we take it up in the next sprint, so that team will work on focusedly on the already planned items. So there is always the delay that's happening. If, say, for example, today is not the sprint starts, and tomorrow morning new requirement comes in, that's a priority. We will say, obviously, like, okay, we have same team has started off this week, and will not be able to move forward with that recommend. We'll take it up in the next week. So though it's a priority, it has to wait for the next 2 weeks to get into the sprint itself. So that is how it is. So that is why sprint, that's why the Kanban is advantages is there. So what happens is if any priority comes up tomorrow, obviously they will pitch in and okay, these are priority items. They will move the other, I mean, put that in the backlog and make it as a top priority, and they take it up and start working on it, and then they close it off. So that is the difference between Kanban and Scrum actually. So these are the various points that we wanted to discuss. So hope you got good idea on what is Kanban and what is Scrum all about, and the difference between Scrum and Kanban as such. So we'll have a quick refresh on review on what we talked about. It's going to be a refreshing thing for you. So when it comes to Scrum, the origin of this is mostly on software development process, and in case of Kanban, it's a lean manufacturing process. So, and when it comes to ideology, so in case of Scrum, we learn through experiences. It's again self-organizing and prioritization, and we reflect on wins and losses, and we continuously improve based on this sprint retrospective feedbacks which we get from during that meetings and ceremonies. In case of Kanban, it's totally visual. I mean, they use visual to improve the workflow, work in progress. So they don't want to keep a task in work in progress for a longer time, and they finish off. They use that visuals to improve that work in progress. If there is too much of items are pending in work in progress, then they, as we mentioned, they get together and they finish off the task, and then they go for the next task. That's how they are. That's how they add our ideologies. So they wanted the work in progress to be limited always. And when it comes to cadence, which is the duration in case of project management, we talked about Scrum, and there's always a time box of 2 weeks to 4 weeks sprint. Always that's there. We follow. That's a fixed length sprint which we follow, and of course that's customizable though. But we have a time frame, so 2 week sprint or 4 week sprint, something like that. But in case of Kanban, we don't have, and it's a continuous flow as per the as and when the requirements comes in, they take it into the development process. So that is about it. And when it comes to practices, we follow. Of course, we have all the ceremonies in case of Scrum, wherein sprint plannings, daily Scrum, sprint reviews, sprint retrospective, everything. But in case of Kanban, we have the visualize. Only the visualization is used. Visualize the flow of work, and limit the work in progress, which is I mean, work in progress should be limited, and they manage the flow and incorporate the feedbacks that they receive during, of course, the feedbacks we got during the daily startup meeting. So that's when they get the feedbacks, and they'll be able to get their inputs, and then they want to restructure anything or modify anything, then they have to adapt it, and they can plan accordingly, and then they start working on development as such. So that's what happens in Kanban. So that's what the practices they follow. And in case of roles, we talked about there is no roles in case of Kanban. Kanban, they don't have any roles such. Everybody is going to work together as a team to the closure of the project. That's what their plan is. But in case of Scrum, we have, of course, product owner is there, Scrum master is there to lead the entire team, so that the team is working safe and secure and in a focused manner. That's all there. They take care of the development team. So all those teams are there in case of Scrum, but in Kanban, we don't have anybody like that. So entire team is responsible collectively for that closure of the project. So that's how the Kanban and Scrum works on. So we come to the end of the video, and hope this information was helpful. So key in your feedbacks and inputs in the comment section below. And before closing for the day today, I would want to invite you to join my Facebook page. The link for that is available in the comment section below, and the page is barathkumarkarunanidhi, and like and follow the page so that you will get more updates on product management related information. Henceforth, today is the 90th day. So after this, most of the updates will be coming only through the Facebook page, which I have, and all that will be my main source of communication going forward. So sooner or later, of course, I'm working on to add further value to all those who wanted to start your career in product management. I will keep you posted on that possibly in a day or two. Of course, I am doing a last minute work and wrapping up few things and fixing up a few things that I need to take care of. And once that is done, I'll be launching that as well. So I will keep you informed on that as well. So you can reach out to me on LinkedIn or Facebook for any clarifications or consultations, and calendar link to schedule an one-to-one appointment with me. That's also there in the comment section. You can use it, and you can connect over a call if needed for any clarifications or consultations. Yes. So see you again in the next series or challenge. Of course, I'll be doing some more activities on that front, because that keeps me always busy, and that keeps my knowledge also fresh. So I'm also teaching you or conveying messages or information to you, wherein that also refreshes my knowledge on all product management related information concepts as such. So that's actually very helpful. So I'll be planning for some more series of challenges going forward. We'll see when our time permits, and I'll pitch in and post any content on social media. So until then, this is your Barathkumarkarunanidhi signing off. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye bye. God bless. See you.